is Behind the Chair with JP Hair Design. I'm JP. This is Sei Kidau. Today, we'll be meeting with Sei. He's the division president of Diamond Residential Mortgage Corporation.
Yes.
Yes, sir. It's nice to have you on the show, Sei.
Yeah. Nice to be here, JP.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to let us know a little bit about yourself? How you got into the mortgage business?
Well, I've been in the mortgage business for about 13 years. I got into it, when I was a kid, it wasn't something that I said when I grew up I want to be a mortgage banker.
Okay.
But I was drawn into it because I wanted to buy a home at one point, and I was a non-conforming borrower, and somebody helped me to get a home. So that's how I kind of got into the business. So in 13 years, I've helped directly and indirectly thousands of people realize the homeownership dream.
Okay.
So I work with individuals, families to achieve the dream of homeownership, even if they have less than perfect credit, or low to no down payment. So that's what I like to do. When I drive around town, I see some of my clients at Costco, at different places, and so gives me a lot of satisfaction.
That's good. The big question is, what's the difference between renting and home ownership, buying a house?
Well, there are a lot of benefits to home ownership. For example, some cases you can most of the time write off the interest. You can write off the taxes that you pay on the home, and over time you can expect to get some appreciation in the value of your home. But even if the government was to come in and say that you can no longer deduct your taxes, you can no longer deduct interest. If you look at home ownership just as it stands, let's assume for 15 years you're going to get a 15-year mortgage and you're going to rent for 15 years. At the end of 15 years, you own your home.
Correct.
At the end of 15 years while renting, you're going to keep paying rent.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the basic difference between besides all of the pride of home ownership, having a place to raise your family without much interference, not worrying about a landlord or a neighbor jumping up and down and stuff like that.
Yeah. I also hear that it's hard right now to get loans, through mortgage companies. What's your take on that?
Well, I think a lot of the things have loosened up. Obviously, we went through a period like one of the greatest financial meltdowns in our generation, probably several generations.
Right.
So yes, lending guidelines tightened up. They went from completely irrational to completely irrational in terms of being too tough. But now, if a person has a job, pays their bills reasonably on time, they have a very strong chance of being able to qualify for a home.
Okay.
If you don't have much of a down payment, we have programs. Depending on where you buy your home, some of the rural areas, even Verona, Wanakee, around Dane County, they qualify for rural development home, which don't require any money down.
Okay.
Some cases as low as a 620 credit score.
Okay.
We have FHA loans where it's 3.5% down.
Okay.
So it's not like the information that's out there on the internet that banks don't want to give out money. Some of the bigger banks have definitely dialed down, their exposure because of some other issues. But mortgage bankers like us, we're lending money. Okay. We're helping people. We have a lot of money, and we just need to find homes for people.
Right. So is it a seller's market right now, or is it a buyer's market?
It's definitely a seller's market. Okay. And I saw this trend start about 7 months ago.
Okay.
Prior to that, yes, you could go in and put a lowball offer. There were a lot of homes on the market and no buyers.
Right.
Now we have more buyers and not enough homes. Right. So for a prospective home buyer, it's important to sit down with a mortgage professional like myself, get pre-qualified. We can even take it a step beyond that. If you have some issues, we can send your loan to an underwriter to take a look at it. You can actually get a loan commitment before you even start looking for a home. Okay. So my thing is, before you fall in love with a home, get a commitment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And then when you compete with other buyers, you have a commitment in hand versus a pre-approval or pre-qualification.
Yeah. How could the viewers contact you if they want to know more information about what you got to offer?
Okay, well, you can contact me directly at 608-841-1105. Or you can just simply type in your browser MadisonMortgageGuru.com. MadisonMortgageGuru.com. It'll take you straight to my profile.
Okay.
And on my website, we have a lot of information about the different home programs. We have calculators that you can, punch in to see what your payments would be, rent versus buy analysis. It's all available there.
Okay. So once, someone contact you, how long does it take before, they're able to purchase a home? How long is the process?
I would say 30 to 40 days.
Okay.
If they're ready. Okay. If they come in, credit is good, everything is set. 30 to 40 days is to get the appraisal and get everything through underwriting.
Okay.
But if we do a loan commitment for them, in other words, before they even start looking, we send it to underwriting and get an approval, we can close quicker.
Okay.
Because at that point, all we really need is a appraisal and a purchase contract.
Okay.
So that process would take 3 weeks.
Yeah. Last thing I'm going to ask you, I know, years ago we went through the housing crisis. How could we avoid that this time? We're finally trying to crawl out. How could we, stay out of the hole?
Well, that's a good question. Okay. Just from my vintage point, where I sat over the last 13 years and I saw where we went and how it went up and down, a couple of things. When you buy a home, you're buying a home to live in it. Don't necessarily think of it as an investment, because it can be an investment, but that shouldn't be the reason you're buying a home. So within your means, buy a home within your means. Don't, and we have checks now in place to prevent people from overextending themselves.
Okay.
But, just don't go overboard with it.
Okay.
And so as long as we buy homes for the right reason, we should be fine. Historically, it makes sense. Most of our net worth is tied up in our homes. But I'm saying, even without a single percentage point in appreciation of your home, and you stayed in that home for 15 years or 30 years and paid it off, you're better off than the person who is renting. Yeah. I've seen people become business owners because they had equity in their homes. They weren't able to get a business loan, but they were able to get a home equity line of credit and start a business.
You're talking about me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I started my business, a home equity loan.
There you go.
I was able to take out from the house and purchase equipment to start my business.
Right.
Yeah. So, Sei, you gave definitely some good information. I'm gonna have you give everyone your business information again.
Yeah. Contact me at MadisonMortgageGuru.com. That's right. I am the mortgage guru. That's MadisonMortgageGuru.com. We'll sit down and put a plan together for you to achieve your home ownership dream.
Thanks a lot, Sei. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Good.
We'll definitely try to have you back sometime too.
Okay, excellent. I look forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks.